Good morning, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the post-Christmas momentum that we're seeing. And just to quickly give you a nice introduction, a few days ago, I made this video and I talked about how maybe it's a good time to consider selling your Christmas skins, like considering to even sell them to the highest buy order. Because, we've already passed Christmas. It's the 28th right now for me. Now, the point I'm trying to get across is, with that, Christmas skins are now out of the picture. You definitely want to try and sell them as quickly as you can if you have any remaining, because unfortunately they are all starting to go down in price pretty quickly. But in contrast, we are now seeing all the normal skins, the non-holiday theme skins, starting to spike in demand and spike in price ever so nicely. Now, not every single skin is going up in price ridiculously, like altogether, but we are seeing progress. We are seeing some strong momentum, and over the course of the next week, we are expecting potentially even better. I don't think we've peaked yet. So let's now hop over to here and just quickly talk about what I did last night. So I went through my inventory, I looked around, and I considered to start selling right about now. And just to kind of paint this picture to you very quickly, I had on my account £1,043. I listed a bunch of things, as you can clearly see. Overnight, lots of sales happen, very nice. Now you might notice, look at the variety of the random skins I have here. You know, not all of them are absolutely super in demand. Some of them are a bit random and whatnot. But the point I'm trying to get across is, these random skins that you might have forgotten about and whatnot, they're still selling. People still want them. The amount of people playing at the moment, I mean, you got to give it to December. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Loads of people are playing, and yet next week, January Forcewipe, January 2nd, 2025, I can't help but assume we're going to have even more people playing. So with even more people playing, you'd expect even more demand for skins. And you'd expect these skins to get bought out even more and the prices to improve ever so. So this is the whole point of the video. You need to now go ahead and start looking in your inventories, learn from the past, and consider, do I want to sell right about now? So take, for example, I'm looking at the Arctic Protection burlap pants, and they have been going up in price ever so nicely. I made the fuss about this about a few videos back. It must have been my rust rotation video. I was like, all white out and similar Arctic snow camouflage skins are going up in price insanely. And if we could just look at its sales history, you can clearly see it's reaching a new all-time high price. Right now, I would be happy to sell. But you know what? Part of me is like, you know what? Maybe I could just hold on to it for a little bit longer and maybe it'll double in price by the summer. You've got to consider how you might want to approach these things. But if the money's good to you, go for it. Take it. You've won. You've got the profit. But in certain other instances, you might own a skin that's been around for quite some time. So let's just go ahead and try and find a nice example. Brutalist garage door with its transparency and glow in the dark. It's a bit of a dingy design, but people do appreciate that transparency. Right now, the lowest listing is $5.78. But if I could just go look at sales history, you can see in the past it actually has been a higher price before. But the difference of that to now, it's not that much different. I'm fine to consider selling right about now. I own quite a lot of them. But as I said, potentially next week we might see these prices go up even higher. But how much higher? Now I'm using Steam Inventory Helper right here. It's an extension that allows me to see more listings. It also helps me be able to order all of the inventory skins here in order of price. All I've got to do is just flick that. There you go. Very easy. So, go look at your skins. Go learn from the past with the sales history and consider, is the profit good to me now? Or maybe I might want to wait it out a little bit longer. Totally up to you. Everybody thinks differently. But remember, list your skins in small batches. Ride the wave of momentum. Do you notice how I don't have like 100 listings of a certain skin right here? Do you notice how all of them were easily able to sell? Do you notice how the prices are still okay? And potentially, as I said, they could be even better. So, yes, point made. Things have worked out nicely. Go look at your inventories. Start making considerations for potential sales. And just to quickly point this out, you may recall back in Halloween, I made a consideration if I wanted to, go buy some mummy wraps because I was like, you know what? Every single year, these always spike in price ever so nicely around the summertime. So as you can see right now, lowest listing is $8.66. I bought 100 of them. I'm still very happy about that because I think I bought these for, $6, $7? I don't remember the price they sell for. I know I've made profit already, the point I'm trying to get across. But yeah, if I were to go ahead and quickly look at sales history, you know what? maybe I am better off waiting until the summer. I don't want to sell now, do I? These were selling for about $12 back in August. Yeah, I could wait till next summer. I'm fine with that. Just another half year to go. I'm good for that. But yeah, just a nice little thing that worked out perfectly there. In contrast, with the carrot rust store that we have here, with my predictions video, I was like, you know what, these Christmas skins, they probably won't be doing very nicely as investments. You're better off with like local barders and pick these up around springtime. But you might want to consider looking at Festive Garlands. If you're going to be making a lot of sales, you will get to a point where you will not have that much, well, you won't be able to sell anything. There's a limit. You can only have up to the equivalent of $2,000 in your currency. If I make another £350 worth of sales, I can't list anything else. I have to make purchases just to be able to continue selling things. And one thing I have personally considered was Festive Garlands. But then I take one quick look over to here and, oh dear, there's 1,000+ listings. Because, of course, lots of people are very eager to try and sell these before Christmas. Unfortunately, we've got this sort of situation. So maybe you're better off with a buy order. But then again, loads of people have already done buy orders. I will sit here and say this. In anticipation to next year's Christmas, I can't help but assume these will rise back up in price. It won't be insane profits like we saw in the past, but it'll still be something that will very reasonably retain its actual price and then work out potentially as a nice little bit of profit. But you're going to have to wait until November for that. It's going to take quite a long time. But in this particular instance, with the amount of listings we have on the Steam market, but the demand and usage of Festive Garlands, it does tend to work out quite nicely. So it might take a while for these to actually get somewhere. But as I said, just to put some funds away and worry about that for the future, a perfectly fine consideration. So if you're still not 100% convinced, I don't fully blame you, but it all depends on how much Steam wallet you end up with. So cool. Just a nice potential consideration. You could potentially look at deluxe Christmas lights as well. Looking back over to here, yeah, they went up in price quite nicely. You could have sold at this specific point right here and made a profit, but then again, how many actually sold during that time? Don't buy a ridiculous amount of them. But yeah, they do routinely go back up in price. So anyway, cool. Just some considerations for you if you do want to make a lot of sales. Right, so with the sales that I did overnight, just to get this point across to you again, last night, £1,043. Right now, yeah, you can see I've made £300, which is equivalent to $400. And you may recall, a month ago, I put this video out. And I had a little bit of a humble brag here, didn't I? I said, I've made $400 in 3 days. Well, I've just done that now in one single night. Point made? The momentum is pretty strong right about now. The prices are doing pretty good. And the demand for skins, the sales, it's looking pretty sweet. So, let's go ahead and show you some examples. So, as you can see, I'm on the main front page here. Quick refresh just to see. Egg suit, comics hoodie, white out, chest plate. As I said, the white clothing and armor constantly being bought. Cool. Very random skins appearing on the front page as well. Random buyouts. Cajun. Boots. Are they actually worth this price? I don't think so. I think this might be a bit of a naughty little manipulation. So let's just go over to here. Look at the set. Yeah, it's a bit random. I think that might be a bit of a manipulation. So you best avoid that. But if you happen to own some, hey, maybe sell to the highest buy order. Up to you. Right. But earlier, I looked at the whiteout face mask. I mentioned this in my rust rotation video and my predictions video. This was the main thing I was trying to get across. You take a look at sales history. Oh, well, new all-time high price. However, potentially on January 2nd, we might have even more people and it could go up even higher. So let's just really kind of set the tone for January 2nd, 2025. What's expected to happen? Well, first of all, it's going to be a Forcewipe. Second of all, I don't think anybody's really going to go back to school until January 6th. I don't think people are going to be working very hard until like January 6th. So for the January Forcewipe, I just can't help but assume we're going to have a peak player count that surpasses 200,000, and maybe we have a very strong average player count throughout all of the month. We shall see. But what's also like going to light a fire to really get very, lots of curious people wanting to jump in and play is the primitive game mode. It's mentioned right here. When you look on the commits page, just before we have like an actual update, January 2nd, of course, being the January update, merge to main would be like the main actual game. Primitives merge to main. We're getting the primitive game mode. All the siege weaponry. No more guns, yes. I just need my shield, my armor, my sword. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, a game mode without actual guns. Does sound somewhat interesting. We'll see how that plays out and the rules behind it. Are we still allowed to have explosives? Can I have a cannon? Anyway, so I can't help but assume a lot of very curious people will be jumping in, and with even more people playing, wouldn't you expect more demand for skins? Wouldn't you expect higher skin prices? Aha. Post-Christmas is lining up perfectly. So, yes, lots of people might be spending their Christmas money potentially, we shall see. But to kind of like showcase that, when whiteout is in demand, when whiteout is reaching new all-time high prices, it's usually a very good time. And with what you can see here, yeah, I think a lot of people are very motivated. I think the momentum's looking pretty strong. Right, now let's go pick out some other skins that I've noticed that have been working out quite nicely. We can show more examples. So here we have the Ramen garage door. If I can recall, Wilja mentioned this in a video, showcased it. He said it was his favourite skin, and then everybody bought it out. Well, it had a bit of a dip since the summer, but guess what? It's rising back up again. I wonder why. People like it, you see. It's got cats in it. Don't you get it? It's got cats. So, yeah, that's looking pretty cool. That's looking pretty nice. And it's, potentially moving towards a new all-time high price. If I can recall, back in August, this was selling for around $7+. We're getting there. A few more sales, maybe. I mean, it's not that much there, is there? And remember, this is Steam Inventory Helper, the extension you can get for Chrome. I can see these. Give it another 10 sales. It's back up to its all-time high price and pushing to a new one. Very nice, very cool. Now I move over to here, Abyss SAR. What was this? God, this is a good few months ago when this was accepted. But I remembered. I was like, hey, I remember that Abyss AK-47 came out, sold at $3. And whilst it did dip down in price to around $1.50, $2 at its worst, it then rebounded and went up in price to about $4 when it was the next good time, aka, post-Christmas 2024, if I can remember. Something like that. Well, at the very least in the summer it worked out even better. Now, as you might notice, the lowest listing is $2.49, but after that it's like $2.87, $2.92, $3, and then after that, there's nothing stopping it. There's hardly any listings. So, yes, it might have a couple stragglers at the moment, but that basically matched up to the exact same behaviour as the Abyss AK-47. And, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and give that a quick look as well. And just to quickly get this point across to you. Is it AR or is it AK-47? Let's just type Abyss and we'll just go from here. There you go. It's AR, right. And that is selling for more than $3 right now, which is very cool to see. Main point is most AK-47s don't really do a very good job retaining their value. But this did, because people appreciate it. And I do believe this did dip in a price for a while, yes. But now it's starting to recover. It's starting to go back up again. So, yeah, even things from the past which suffered will rise back up again. Oh, yes. But it was that little thing here, that initial dip, from which I learned that Abyss weapons do tend to work out a little bit better. So, cool. The SAR is emulating the behaviour of the AK-47. Now, looking over to here, Snowcamo Jacket. Well, yeah, that's a face punch skin. But it just keeps appearing on the front page. Again, people just keep wanting to buy out white camouflage skins. So with this Forcewipe, don't be surprised if everybody's camping around in the snow. Just to be, just keep you all informed. But yeah, it constantly keeps getting bought out. So yeah, that has now reached a new all-time high price. You could get this skin for absolutely free. You could get it for absolutely free. Like, when they randomly do those drops and everybody gets a skin. Yeah, this is one of them. And yet, even then, it's now currently selling at $1.52. This is this is post-Christmas momentum. I hope you're enjoying it. So, okay, that's working out even better. And I move over to here. Now, here's a fun, interesting little tidbit that we have to question from here. We're going to have Lunar New Year again in like a month. And, for 2024, we had the Dragon rocket launcher. It was the year of the Dragon. So that's nice and cool. However, is this going to get brought back again? Guys, if you happen to own one of these, you need to consider what's going to happen next. By default, Dragons with Lunar New Year, it's a common sight. Or was this only made specifically for the Year of the Dragon? The next year is going to be Year of the Snake, I believe. Are we going to, instead of getting this, get some sort of snake-themed weapon or a tool or a garage door or something? I don't know. I know, you tell me. What fun idea could you think of? But the main point I'm trying to get across is, with that Dragon rocket launcher, will it be reintroduced? And just to remind all of you, so on scmm.app, go to the right, see that little time notch right there, click that. I can easily navigate to previous rustores from previous months. If I go to Lunar New Year 2024, I can remind myself that Dragon rocket launcher, that's sold at $5.49. It's currently double the price of that. Are you going to want to consider selling it right now? or are you wanting to wait and see what happens with the next Lunar New Year rush store? Maybe it gets brought back, maybe it doesn't. But if it's brought back, that's going down in price. If it isn't brought back, that's getting bought out. So it goes either way. You've got to do a bit of a coin flip here. Like I said, Year of the Dragon was last year, but is it going to just get brought back because, dragons and Lunar New Year? It's a common theme that you'd expect. But anyway, I've brought it up to you. Now it's up to you what you do next. So, Dragon Rocket Launcher, could you potentially keep going up in price? Well, there's not much stopping you. No big fat walls of resistance, no huge quantities. It very likely could, but you've been warned. So whatever happens next happens. It's usually the end of January or the beginning of February where we'll have Lunar New Year. So you've got like a month to consider it. And then over to here, Graffiti Clothes Storage. I have quite a lot of these. I looked at the past. I could see that it has been a higher price before. But yeah, I thought with the prices that we're seeing now, I'm fine. I have like 90 of them. I'll put some listings down. I've had 2 sell already, which is quite nice to see. But yeah, you've got to go look at your inventories. You've got to go ahead and make some considerations. You've got to quickly learn from the past. Have these skins sold at higher prices before? This might happen, unfortunately. If you just could quickly turn on a VPN, yeah, so I'm doing that right now, you will be able to get out of the requests issue. It's unfortunate, but it happens quite a lot. It doesn't really stick around that much longer anymore. Like, you wait 10 minutes and then it's fixed. But with a quick switch of the VPN, you can easily get around it. What is going on here? Is this a manipulation? It's weird how it just kind of went up in price one day, but hey, people seem to appreciate it. Has this been used in the video and everybody's copying someone? Feel free to message. But wow, that's kind of odd. I would never have thought that'd be $5. But when you look at the borders to the right, yeah, doesn't seem to be matching up there perfectly, does it? So yeah, that's why I'm curious. Hey, is that actually like a manipulation? Anyway, I keep scrolling over to the side. Is there anything else that's quite notable that we could probably bring up? I have mentioned this in a previous video. Reptile Hunter Collection, considering that we are still expecting the jungle update. Wouldn't you expect the jungle to be dark green? I wonder what's dark green, and it's an armor. And I wonder, if they do release the jungle update, is everybody going to suddenly want to have some nice camouflage for their brand new biome? Especially after considering the amount of people buying out white clothing and armor recently. Everybody wants to go, jump in the snow. I can't help but assume a lot of people are going to want, have some bases in the jungle. But again, it's not actually been officially announced yet. And of course, it's not actually out yet. But I do think Reptile Hunter's an interesting thing to consider investing into if you're curious. So we'll leave it at that. So yeah, that's basically everything. Go look at your inventories, learn from the past, make considerations if you want to sell now, and enjoy the profits. The sweet, delicious profits. Let's quick refresh. Have I got any more sales? No, not yet, huh? Well, it was only like 20 minutes of yapping. But yeah, maybe you might need to remove your listings and relist them. Again, if you're only doing sales or listings of between 3 to 5, it should work out nicely. You should still be making some profits. But next week, January 2nd, 2025, potentially then is where it peaks. Or after that, it peaks afterwards. There's still going to be a lot of people playing into the weekend next week. So I brought that to your attention. We'll see what happens next. Thank you very much for watching the video, and best of luck to each and every single one of you with your investments. My name is Hedge. I do a lot of yapping, but I'm sure you enjoy listening. So with that, catch you later. Soon goodbye.